Welcome everybody.
Hello, Prof.
Hello, Prof.
Today, Professor, we would like you to tell us about your reflections on what you call the miracle of human cumulative intelligence and its impact on the progress of knowledge.
With pleasure. This topic is particularly close to my heart, and I wish to share it with those who enjoy contemplation. Cumulative intelligence, or the transmission of knowledge through successive generations, thanks to education and the exchange of knowledge between humans, is the fundamental engine of our civilization. It touches upon the very essence of what we are, as the dominant species in the animal kingdom on Earth. I look around me and I am astonished by the world we have collectively built. Not me, as an individual, but we, humanity, across the centuries. Our capacity to understand, to transform, and to innovate is not the result of a single genius, but the outcome of an immense human chain of transmission. This is what I call human cumulative intelligence. From the moment man engraved the first marks on a cave wall, up to the extraordinary development of genetic engineering, the computer, the smartphone, and artificial intelligence, every advance rests on the shoulder of the preceding generation. We have benefited, without even thinking about it, from the discoveries of Euclid and Al-Khawarizmi, the methodology of Galileo, the thought of Voltaire, the scientific rigor of Newton, the equations of Maxwell, and the imagination of Tesla. Our smartphone was not born from a sudden idea, it is the culmination of the mastery of fire, metallurgy, the theory of electromagnetism, semiconductor physics, algorithmics, and many other progresses. Scientific and technological progress and development are not sudden leaps, but an incremental process, fueled by education and the transmission of knowledge. It is the teacher who explains relativity, the craftsman who teaches their skill, the doctor who transmits their knowledge, the book that preserves experience. Each one of us is the involuntary trustee of a universal library accumulated over millennia.
Indeed. What you are saying, Prof, is very interesting. The absence of transmission would be a catastrophic return to zero. Could you tell us more about this subject?
This dependence on transmitted knowledge is the keystone of my conviction. If I had to illustrate the vital importance of transmission, would use the simplistic image of a reset of human knowledge. Imagine, and it chills me to the bone, that two very young children, a girl and a boy, are abandoned on a desert island. However intelligent they may be, deprived of all contact with human knowledge, they are biologically human, but culturally blank of all knowledge. Would they know how to make fire other than by chance, or how to make bows and arrows for hunting? Would they know how to cultivate the most productive lands, how to make thread and weave clothes, or how to make a simple sewing needle? Would they know that invisible germs exist which cause illness? Would they know that iron and carbon must be combined to make a sharp and durable tool? Would they know how to develop the complex language that allows for abstract thought, social exchange, and the precise transmission of knowledge? And so on. I am convinced that, even as geniuses, they would spend their lives rediscovering the basics of the Stone Age. They would fight for survival. And even if they managed a small level of organization, their new civilization would stop where ours began, tens of thousands of years ago. There would be no progress, in the sense we understand it today. They would be condemned to relive human evolution from the beginning, to reinvent the wheel, pottery, writing, silk thread, weapons to defend themselves against wild beasts, a process that took us entire eras. For me, this is the most eloquent proof that intelligence is potential, but civilization is a heritage of all humanity.
Indeed, this is the most obvious proof that intelligence is potential, and civilization is a heritage of all humanity. And our greatest duty is the transmission of the flame of knowledge. Could you tell us a bit more, based on your own experience, about this necessity to transmit our knowledge to future generations?
Therefore, each of us must know, when we study, when we write, when we learn, we do not do it solely for ourselves. We must see ourselves as a fragile link in this uninterrupted chain, to which we must contribute. I believe I have contributed modestly throughout my professional life, as a university lecturer, and my recreational life. Now retired, I still take pleasure in continuing my modest contribution to the exchange of knowledge, with my searches for scientific information, analysis and writing, constructive criticism, and publications of articles and videos on various subjects that seem relevant and useful to me. It seems to me that I have the responsibility not only to receive the heritage of scientific and technological knowledge but to transmit it intact to future generations, to augment and enrich it if possible, according to my cognitive abilities, which I always did when I was a teacher-researcher. Education is not a simple service. It is the act of survival of our species. The transmission of knowledge is the tool that prevents humanity from undergoing this tragic reset, allowing the girl and boy of the future to begin their lives not by carving a stone like our distant ancestors, but by contributing in turn to the development of progress even further into the future. I believe my commitment is to use the cumulative intelligence that was given to me to advance, and continue to teach in a different way, and to transmit to others what I learn and what I think, in order to continue contributing modestly to the maintenance of the flame of knowledge, for those who love to learn and think.
Thank you, Prof, for these clarifications. Thank you all for watching this video until the end, and see you next time on another topic.